what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Arena, multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 103. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. Burley, how you doing this week? Mr. Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Actually, I'm doing good. I'm just getting used to it because I've been having to go back into the office for work. So, my schedule has changed so much. So it's like getting used to things. How have you been, man?
I've been doing good. Actually, my daughter left for Canada, so she's in Vancouver now. So, so shout out to everybody out there in Vancouver and Vancouver Island. So, she's settling in. She started school, and she's actually taking the school bus, out to her high school. And she says that the school there is very, very large. So I was texting back to her. I'm pretty sure that everything out there in Canada is going to be pretty large compared to Japan. So
we got a lot of open space out there.
Yeah. So Carl, how you doing, man? I see everything's being repossessed there in the background. No, I'm just kidding.
Repossessed.
But you got the kitty view right there.
Yeah. So the cat's
Taking
not being repossessed, obviously.
Nice
So,
yeah.
Cool.
Busy this week, the house, selling the house.
Yeah.
But it's good. We got an offer that we accepted.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I sold my car.
Yeah. Awesome.
Big deal. It's a big deal for me because it's the first car I ever owned. It's the only car I've ever owned.
I see.
Oh, wow.
I see. And where will you be heading to after this? So you're in Florida now. Where are you going to next for all?
In the Buffalo, New York area.
Nice.
But the part they call the South Towns.
Cool.
So
in the near future, you and Burley could hook up and stuff. Yeah,
man. That'd be cool.
You guys would be close enough now. So
I do want to go to Canada.
Well, no, you guys got to come out to Japan, man. You guys got to come visit out here. So that might be a little pricey. Yeah. Oh, believe me, it is. Yeah. But hopefully someday you guys can get out here. So we got a great show for. Yeah. I'm hoping.
I'd love to go to Japan, and Carl and I may have already scheduled a few meetups.
Yeah.
That's all we'll say for now.
Well, speaking of coming out to Japan, a lot of people might be coming out here, especially the media, because of course Tokyo Game Show is coming. We're going to be talking about that in the show. We got a big show for you. We're going to be talking about the Xbox Studios boss. He had some comments about, AAA games, and being made by single studios. We're going to talk about that. Glen Schofield, his comments. We'll talk about that. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077 is back in the news again. So we got some DLC that's going to be coming. We'll talk about that. And of course, Sony is not happy with Microsoft when it comes to Call of Duty. We'll talk about that, as well as our topic of the show, Tokyo Game Show, and what we want to see happen at Tokyo Game Show. So kind of like our predictions for TGS. And then, of course, the games of the week and our picks for the new releases for this coming week. But before we talk about the games that we've been playing this past week, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon in early access for one day after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode in audio and video formats, exclusive post-show content in video format when recorded, as well as watch or listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in video format on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
Okay, everybody. Guys, I'll start. I haven't, my daughter just went out, moved out to Canada for a year. So this week, still hadn't had much time to play games, but I started playing a game today. I started playing Splatoon 3. So that is my new addiction, kind of like Burley's addiction to Fall Guys. So Splatoon 3 is going to be my new addiction now. So I just started. I've been doing some practice with some of the new weapons and everything just for an hour or so. But I'm really going to be getting into it this coming week. So and a lot of the students that I teach out here, they're playing it now as well. So they're looking forward to getting into some competitive matches with me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. So Splatoon 3, that's about it for me. So Burley, how about you? What have you been playing this past week?
Actually, one of the games I haven't been playing has been Fall Guys. I haven't had the time for that.
Good job, Burley.
I've been playing it. Yeah, I beat the addiction. I've been continuing on with Triangle Strategy. I got to play a bit of I streamed one night the Konami TMNT Cowabunga collection. That was a lot of fun to go through. Thank you, Konami, for sending me a code. And just playing some Mario Kart on stream.
Wait, which games did you play in the Cowabunga collection?
I played Turtles in Time, the arcade version, and the first TMNT on arcade version, and played I played one of the fighters. I think it's like Power Fighters.
Okay.
Which they had on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. The tournament
those
style fighter.
Those two are very different games. The Genesis, Super Nintendo ones. It's interesting.
Yeah. How about you, Carl? What did you play this week? I know you've been busy too, but yeah.
Yeah. It is a week where actually I haven't played a single video game. Just didn't turn anything on.
I see.
Yeah, just been busy, like I said, doing the showings of the house, and then talking about I had the inspector come, after someone put in the offer, and calling all these things for setting up service at the other house or the apartment. Just been busy with all that stuff, packing still.
Yeah. Just before
the game of life, man.
Yeah, definitely the game of life. I mean, like my daughter, just getting her prepared to leave, getting her all packed up and stuff, and her documents ready and everything, and then getting her out to the airport and everything. So all that's settled now, and hopefully for you, pretty soon that'll all be settled as well as you get up to Buffalo. So
well, I got 2 nights. I'm gonna be driving from here.
Oof.
And and I got 2 nights. So it's just gonna be me there. Yeah. So I'm gonna have the 2 nights in the hotel, and I'm gonna bring my Xbox Series X, and hopefully I can get some time in on Soul Hackers too.
Yeah. Cool.
I was just about to say, is it going to be Soul Hackers? Was the game you're going to end up doing?
That's what I got right now. I'm not gonna pass it up yet. I haven't put enough time into it.
Yeah, I was thinking of playing that on there's the demo on PlayStation. They have the Soul Hackers 2 demo. I was thinking of playing a little bit of that. So we'll talk about that later too, when it comes to the premium and extra service when it comes to demos, because we had some comments that we're going to talk about.
I really do want to play the Schofield Chronicles demo. I turned it on one day and I played a little bit of it. I didn't get enough of a feel, but it seemed interesting. It wasn't what I expected at first, because I thought it was very much a real time sort of strategy game, but it's almost somewhat turn-based mixed with real time, because like the enemies, from what I saw, maybe changes as it goes, but the enemies weren't like coming at me constantly. It was like I had to move, and once I moved into their range, and they would start attacking. So like they were positioned in a certain way. But we'll see. I have to play more of it. I actually kind of liked what I saw. So
cool. All right. So let's get into the weekly news beat. But before we get into the news that happened this past week, some news dropped actually just yesterday, my time here in Japan yesterday, which was, of course, Disney and Marvel, their games showcase, of course, the D23. They talked about some games that are coming. Of course, a new Marvel game starring Captain America and Black Panther. We got some more information on Midnight Suns. We also got, of course, a new Tron game that's coming. Tron Identity is what it's called. It's a new visual novel adventure. So they talked about that. Yeah. So a new co-op Mickey Mouse and Friends game, Illusion Island. So yeah, we got a bunch of news from D23 on some of those games. Do you guys want to comment on any of those? I guess I was surprised at the Tron announcement, I guess, but other than that, Midnight Suns and all, we've known about that. At least we know what Amy Hemming's doing now. Amy Hennig for the Captain America and the Black Panther, pair up for like a World War II based game. So what'd you guys think of that? Carl, I'll start with you.
Yeah, that's the only, I think, significant announcement there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, one we were waiting for, that actually got leaked. Like, to me, I saw that beforehand.
Yeah.
Before the show, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I was like, that could be an interesting idea. And then I saw it. I'm like, there it is. That's the game that was leaked.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and that's the problem, because I even watched the interview on IGN with Amy Hennig and someone else, another man. And they were incredibly vague. And I obviously they couldn't say certain things. But I don't like this. Okay, like if you're gonna tease announce a video game with a CG trailer, okay, that's fine. I get why you do that. A lot of companies do that. But if you're gonna send people out for interview, like you gotta send them out with nothing. Like you gotta at least be able to tell people what the hell kind of game it is.
Yeah,
that was really frustrating, because
which means these games are way off.
Yeah. And some of the things they said, like, there's 4 heroes, but there's not a co-op game. I was like, okay, that's fine, but it's just like the image you set up like makes you think that it's like it's just, I feel like they definitely need to say that. Yeah. It's just weird. They made Amy Hennig made some weird comments about like the gameplay like flow and like wanting it to like not be too complex and have people like have to master the combat. She wants it to like do sort of like what you expect would happen with and I'm like, I don't know. And then she said something about inspiration from like rhythm, VR and mobile stuff, and I'm like, what are you talking about here? I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't know. Like, you should have more information ready.
Burley, your thoughts? Anything that stood out for you about the Disney and Marvel?
I'll say my thoughts on the Captain America Black Panther game. You need to give us something. And then like I did listen to the IGN interview with her, and it's like, if you're not going to give us anything, why do this? Why do this interview? If you're going to be vague and just do that, but from what I've gathered there, I think it's going to be simple combat of just you press the X button to punch, you press the B button to use Captain America's shield. Like that's the exciting combat we're going to get. Like it's going to be very simplistic. 2-button combat is the feel I'm getting.
Who knows?
The co-op Mickey game that could be interesting. That could be interesting with you have the 4-player option and all the characters are different and unique.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
other than that, like Switch only, yeah.
It's weird when they do that. Like,
yeah.
It's a game that could easily be on every platform. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I hate when things are locked to one platform. I really hate that.
Yeah.
But like the Tron game, it first had me interested. Then when they got to the IGN interview and stuff saying, "Oh yeah, it's a visual novel," it's like, oh, my excitement was like this. It's gone. Yeah. It's like, okay. My only like thing I didn't like is there was just too much of the mobile games and like all most of the mobile stuff show you no trailer. It's like we're just going to show you what you think the mobile game is like. And like the one they did with Niantic, you got nothing. You got nothing other than a screenshot. Right. It's like seriously, so I know nothing of what this game is. It's like
Yeah, what is it, like a Marvel Pokemon Go type game?
Yeah, something like that.
Everyone assumes. I don't know if they described it. I don't know if you could see it anywhere yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is just kind of like done and over. Like that fad or trend worked with Pokemon and like hasn't worked since with anything else.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
Pokemon was probably the biggest franchise to do that with. Because you just walking around different areas, collecting Pokemon, it fits in the Pokemon lore and all that. So that works, but it's like, what am I going to walk around? Oh my god, I caught one of Squirrel Girl's squirrels.
Right.
I'm going to be like, yay.
You're going to catch different Wolverines.
Right.
You're going to catch Bone Claw Wolverine and brown suit
Old Man
Wolverine. Old Man
Logan.
Logan. Yeah, see?
So in the comments, let us know what you thought of of course, the Disney Marvel showcase, the D23 2022 showcase. So also later today, actually, I think it is Ubisoft is having their presentation on the Assassin's Creed games that are coming. So looking forward to that, and we'll be bringing you the news about that in next week's episode for whatever news that they reveal. So I'm excited for that. Looking forward to that because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, obviously. So we'll be talking about that next week. So it's time to get into the news that dropped earlier this week. Obviously, Xbox Studios boss, of course, says the days of single studio AAA games are long gone. So for all of you video viewers, the link to the article from Video Games Chronicle is below. So Matt Booty says Crystal Dynamics' work on Perfect Dark is normal, not proof of, quote, a problem. And also for Crystal Dynamics, they now have the complete rights to the Tomb Raider series again. So, that was also a little bit of news from this past week. But, I don't know, guys. I mean, like on the PlayStation side of things, obviously, you have like single studios working on, big AAA games. You have Sony Santa Monica that's working on, obviously, God of War Ragnarok, and you have Insomniac Games working on Spider-Man. But I don't know if they're really getting a lot of help from other studios. I mean, it seems with PlayStation. I mean, it seems like these studios like Sony Santa Monica and everything, they're working, they're standalone working on these big AAA titles. I don't know. What do you think of Matt Booty's comments that the days of single studio AAA games being long gone? Burley, I'll start with you on this one. Go ahead, man.
Well, to do the Sony point quick, Sony, actually, some of the studios have worked together quite a lot. Actually, in the 90s, you had Insomniac and Naughty Dog helped each other out through the PS1 and PS2. I don't know how much on the PS3 and PS4 and now PS5 days, but they used to help each other out all the time.
Did
They
they
would help
did Naughty Dog have any other studios helping them out with The Last of Us?
That stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, they did actually, because there was a famous story a while back that they had over 2,000 people that actually touched and worked on The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And they all weren't at Naughty Dog. It was, there's support studios for all of these games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Burley? Do you think the time of single studios working on a big AAA project are long gone?
I don't know if they're long gone. It's going to be less likely, is my thing, because a lot of them, the big games from Microsoft, have all been, from what I've seen and known, have all been collaborations. They all have, like, you had 343's Halo Infinite. You had Coalition came in to help with that. You've had, I know there's a few others, but I'm blanking on examples at this time. But I think it's just going to continue. But there will be some big AAAs that, like, I don't know, with God of War, Ragnarok, if that's just them by themselves or if they have smaller studios helping them. Yeah. There'll be a few, but it's mostly going to be collaborative. Hey, as long as the games come out good, it don't matter to me if it is one studio or 5 studios helping out on the game.
Yeah,
as long as the game comes out good.
Yeah, well, obviously in this article they're mentioning Perfect Dark, and of course Crystal Dynamics is helping with that as well. So anyway, Carl, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, Phil Spencer's totally right. I mean, I'm sorry, Matt Booty, you said.
Yeah,
it's Matt Booty.
Yeah.
It is long gone because this happens all the time. They have support studios that help them with these AAA games, and whether that's an internal support studio, like another one of the studios they own helping, or an external smaller support studio that generally you don't hear about. They don't generally talk about these things a lot, but like the Last of Us 2 example is one that people, they don't necessarily tell you. I don't know if you can find a list of the support studios that help them with that.
Yeah,
but they exist. They're out there. PlayStation just bought one. It was Valkyrie, I believe it was. Entertainment, right? It was a sports studio on a number of games. They even did some work on State of Decay 2.
Did Ben's studio have any help with Days Gone? I don't remember if they did or not.
I'd assume at some
because
point
it was a long. I mean, that game took so long to develop. The development cycle was like almost 6 or 7 years on that game, I think. So,
and sometimes it's even, you might even say like contract work is, maybe it's within the studio, but like those people aren't full-time employees of the studio, right? So it's a similar aspect. Like making a AAA game with just one studio and never anyone outside of that studio, it doesn't seem like it happens all that much at all anymore.
Right, and especially with the big guns like Microsoft and with Sony, of course, they have multiple studios, and so they can pass on some of the work. Like with, I think it was with, I'm trying to remember I think the Coalition was helping with Halo Infinite, I think a little bit as well. So I mean, all of these internal studios, so. They can just pass on some of the work to those other studios because
I mean, look at Activision, right? With Call of Duty. I mean, they turned everyone into a support studio for Call of Duty over there. And supposedly they're freed up in some of them, right? Like Toys for Bob there's a rumor that they have another game coming, so they're no longer doing support on Call of Duty. So that's the way things go. You don't even know because they don't want to tell you all these things. They don't want this for some reason. They're all very secretive about these things.
Right.
I mean, Skull and Bones. Like I always had the theory that that developer, the Ubisoft, is it Singapore? I think I
believe it's Singapore. I'll look it up.
Yeah. In my I haven't. There's no evidence of this, but it makes sense to me that like Ubisoft Singapore was probably doing support for other games in between.
Right.
And that's why things took so long, because that game had a playable demo like a long time ago. Like it was in a state that was somewhat close to something, and they put it off for who knows what reasons. People like to say it was troubled development, but you don't know. Maybe they we just decided we needed these people to get other games out, so we put that on the back burner.
Yeah, well, I agree with Matt Booty, and I think it's, in a sense, I mean, these days, I mean, you know, in 2022, the type of games and the scope of these AAA games are so huge that if one particular studio were only working on a AAA title like this, it would take like maybe 3 or 4 more years to get it out. I mean, that's just, yeah. So to use the resources, you know, to make the game come out sooner, I think is you know, more along the lines of what they're looking at nowadays, especially. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, either you crunch really hard or you hire more people.
Yeah, we're going to talk about crunch here in the next story, but I just want to ask you before we go on, and everybody in the comments, let us know what you think about AAA games and being, of course, made by not only one studio. What do you think of that? Let us know in the comments. And I just want to ask you guys, of course, Perfect Dark. Are you excited for Perfect Dark? And of course, obviously, Crystal Dynamics is helping with that now. But are you excited for that? And do you think we will see Perfect Dark in 2023? Carl, what do you think?
Oh boy, will we see in 2023? I mean, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say we're not going to see it. Am I excited for it? I'm also going to say no, because it's going to be first person shooter-esque. I mean, will they jazz that up with something more interesting? Potentially, yeah. Like your sort of like arcane immersive sim genre, right? Will they do some of that? I don't know. Maybe. It's just, I had to see it. I would just prefer if it was Crystal Dynamics making a third person, like sort of stealth action game adventure thing. That would be awesome, but that's not what's happening here.
Yeah. Burley, what do you think? Are you excited for Perfect Dark?
No, I never really did get into the original Perfect Darks. So, and knowing with like what we've talked about in the past, what we think the story's going to go, it's like, it doesn't interest me. Will we see the game? We'll get some CG trailer crap next year. That's what I think we'll get. If
we've already gotten that.
I know, but you know how games go.
Yeah,
you're gonna get like 7 CD trailers till we get the real trailer.
And for the 7 CG trailers that show us the entire game, and then we don't want to play it anymore.
Exactly. And for the Skull Bones, it was Singapore was the main, but there were like 4 other Ubisoft studios that were listed.
So I mean, there you go. That's an example of support studios within.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right, guys. So let's talk about Glen Schofield. So obviously, he's backpedaling on his crunch comments. So he made some comments about crunch and all. And so I want to get your guys' take on that. Obviously, the Callisto protocol is coming out later this year. I think it's coming in December, right, guys? Supposedly
like December 4th or something like that.
Yeah.
If they can crunch their way to that date, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, you know, all this crunch is going on and everything, and then of course he backpedals because he's, you know, getting the flack for these comments. So what do you got, Burley? I'll start with you. What did you think of his comments and then his backpedaling on them, and you know, the situation with crunch there for this particular game?
So yeah, this game's coming December 2nd. It's like his comments on crunch. I'm not for. I don't like this whole let's just crunch. We got to get it. No, you take your time, because the problem is the more you crunch on this shit, the more you're in that tunnel vision, and you can miss some big bugs or elements that could be other problems just because you're trying to get it out so you can get this out for a holiday release. It's like, take your time, relax. You know this game is going to sell when it comes out. So just take your time. I don't like this whole crunch mentality, and I hate rushing just to get something out, because how many games have we not seen where they rush, they get it out, and then the game is crap, and you got to wait months to get patches to get what you're promised.
Yeah. So let me read these comments that he made. The first one, this is from GameIndustries.biz, and the link is below for all of you video viewers. But anyway, he said first, I only talk about the game, meaning, of course, referring to the Callisto Protocol, during an event. We are working 6 to 7 days a week. Nobody's forcing us. Exhaustion, tired, COVID, but we're working. Bugs, glitches, fixes. Yeah. One last pass through audio, 12 to 15 hour days. This is gaming, hard work, lunch, dinner, working. You do it because you love it.
Okay. I want to address one thing there with what he said. The 6 to 7 days a week, and no one's forcing us. Yeah, no one may be forcing you, but here's the thing. When things come up for like promotions and stuff, people will get penalized. Oh, you only work 5 days a week, but Fred over there, he works 6 to 7. He was here 15 hours a day, burning the midnight oil. You don't show the passion for the company and the projects we're doing. So why would we make you this? Yeah, you may be more qualified or better, but this guy's showing he's willing to be here. So that's the thing. Like, people feel they have to do it to get advancements and shit. And that I hate. It's like, no.
Yeah. So obviously he got criticism for it, and then he's backtracking, and he says, quote, anyone who knows me knows how passionate I am about the people I work with. Earlier, I tweeted how proud I was of the effort and hours the team was putting in. That was wrong. We value passion and creativity, not long hours. I'm sorry to the team for coming across like this, end quote. Carl, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I hated what he said. When I saw that, I was like, come on, man. Like, he says nobody's forcing them. Like, you're the boss, dude. Yeah, no one's forcing you.
Right.
Obviously. Unless he's implying that, like, Sony's not breathing down his neck because they got the marketing deal or some nonsense. Make sure you get this game out.
He hired 100 plus employees that love to work 20 hours a day because they have no life, and that they just love to work on video games on a computer screen for 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, look, 6 to 7 days a week, 12 to 15 hour days. Like, that's not like living, just, and you assume that these people are all passionate about what they do. And I'm not saying that they aren't, but some of them might just be like a gig for them. Like, I don't know, how passionate can you be about, like, I'm tweaking this little environmental objects, some of it is just like road work that it's not like you're sitting there like hashing out this brilliant story, or designing this amazing character, no, you're fixing small little annoying things in the game at this point, like bugs and glitches and graphical clipping and just like all the stupid little things. And like, I can't imagine there's anybody who's like, I'm super passionate about making sure all those little things, like I want to give away my time with my family, to make sure that character's foot doesn't go through that box, I mean, come on.
And they still probably will. I mean, it's like, come on.
There's still gonna be bugs, yes, of course. So like, look, Glenn, my advice to you: delay your game. Just do it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna care. Okay. Yeah. You have crybabies on the internet who don't matter. Okay, just delay your damn game.
Yeah,
man.
Because they're gonna buy it anyway. So later on. So
yes, you're right.
Yep. Okay. So crunch, obviously, it's a problem in the gaming industry, as well as huge problem as well as many other industries too. So not only the gaming industry. So
and again, like, nobody gives people credit when they say they aren't doing, like Microsoft, for example. And Microsoft gets just torn up for yes, Halo Infinite has problems, right? And I'm not going to say it's only because they're not crunching that it has problems, but very clearly, obviously, one of the reasons they might have an issue with getting content out on time is because they're not crunching, and that's Microsoft has made this a part of their culture and business to not do that.
Yeah,
and if that's why their games aren't coming out as soon as you expect, maybe you should be praising that idea instead. And every time you criticize someone like this for saying that they're doing this, just remember that there are some people out there who are saying they aren't doing it, and no one's really giving them credit. They're just attacking them for their games coming out late.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about. Can you believe this, guys? Cyberpunk is back in the news again. I mean, it's pretty cool, but yeah. So we're getting some DLC called Phantom Liberty. So that's coming out, and Keanu Reeves is going to return. So for the Phantom Liberty DLC that's coming in 2023, we shall see. But yeah, so this is from, of course, inime.com. So the link is below for all of you video viewers. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077 is receiving a new expansion called Phantom Liberty, set for release sometime next year. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
It was announced during CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire stream. The developers previously teased that viewers would find out what was next for the action role-playing game. Fan favorite character Johnny Silverhand will be returning in Phantom Liberty, piloted once again by the ever-popular Keanu Reeves. So I am going to play, of course, the trailer that they showed for this. And as I'm doing that, what are you guys' thoughts on this DLC? Carl, I'll start with you on this one. What do you think, man?
It's been a long time coming, and I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. I really like this game. I played it at launch on Series X, and I think that version I played was pretty good. I didn't have a lot of problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're playing the wrong trailer there.
Yeah. Wrong trailer. Sorry, guys. It goes to the very end for some reason. Okay, here we go. Okay, so sorry, guys. Go ahead. Yeah.
Something that's great that should make this easier to get out on time and have better performance is the fact that it's next gen only, or current gen only. Sorry.
Yeah.
We know the quality that they can put out as they did with Witcher 3 and their expansions. So I do want to play this. I will be excited to play it.
Yeah. Burley, your thoughts?
They may say released in 2023, playable in 2024.
I don't know, man.
I know that there's those CD Projekt Red diehards, but after the state of that game came in, I trust nothing. They have to prove to me that this game is this DLC is gonna come out right on day one, because if it's in the state the original game was in, I ain't paying for that.
They can't do that. I don't think that's gonna happen this time. I mean, could you just imagine?
I don't think it'll happen.
No.
But I'm sorry. When you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not gonna. I don't want it. I don't want to buy this and be like, oh fuck, I wasted my money because it's glitchy on the PS5 version, or whatever. It's nice to see that they're just like, you know what, we had problem with last gen. Let's just not even bother with last gen. I know people that are on last gen are going to get mad, PS4, Xbox One, but it is what it is. If you have the newer consoles, they at least did the right thing there of being like, here you go, here's the free upgrade.
Just grab yourself a Series S. They're usually on shelves, and
yes,
great price. They just released an update, like the Series S version running at 60 frames per second.
And that thing can fit in any entertainment stand, because it's the smallest console, one of the smallest consoles in history.
That is impressive. I do kind of want to get one. I'm tempted all the time. Like,
I
just don't know what I would do with it. Really.
All right.
But yeah, I think we don't know, right? It could anything could be delayed. Everything gets delayed right now, but
yeah,
I feel like they've been radio silent on this for a long time, just because they're like, yeah, we're not gonna announce this until like we're in a place where we think we can actually get it out in a good state, and that we're going to announce it like in a reasonable time where we're not going to have to delay it. But again, we'll see. We don't know.
We don't know.
Hopefully they learned the lesson.
Right. So, I'm thinking maybe late 2023. To be honest, probably maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So
if it's coming in 2023, it's I'm gonna go November.
Yeah, like fall season. Yeah. So yeah, something like that. I mean, 2023 is just, guys. I mean, it's looking amazing. I mean, for video games,
it's gonna be a monster year.
It's gonna be a monster year. But anyway, in the comments, let us know what you think of the DLC that's coming for Cyberpunk 2077. Are you excited for that? Let us know in the comments. So next up, the never-ending story, between Microsoft and Sony when it comes to Call of Duty. So now, of course, Sony says Microsoft's Call of Duty offer was inadequate on many levels. So we're going to talk about that now. So obviously, Microsoft is saying, at least for the next 3 years after the contract, that they're going to continue. Obviously, Phil Spencer, he made comments a week or so ago saying that, of course, Call of Duty is still going to be coming to PlayStation day one. But it seems like Jim Ryan and everybody over there at PlayStation, they don't like what they're hearing. And this is from TheVerge.com. So for all of you video viewers, you can see the link below here. I'm going to read a little bit of some of the comments that were made. So, of course, Jim Ryan, quote, Microsoft is only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. So this was a statement to GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, after almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle. So this reeks of nervousness. I mean, that Microsoft could just pull the plug on them if they wanted to. And I've heard some people on the internet saying, well, Jim Ryan, you should be actually lucky that they're actually still going to give you Call of Duty in the first place. I don't know. What do you guys think? I just think, it's, PlayStation trying to play the card of, hey, we're being taken advantage of, and this deal between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard should not go through because it's going to be bad for consumers. But then again, I mean, what has PlayStation and Sony done with some other games in the past that don't even let Microsoft have those games? I'm not saying that I'm more of a Microsoft gamer than a Sony gamer. Of course, I'm a multi-platform gamer, but I think in this case, I think Sony, is exaggerating, and I don't think they should be so worried about this. Your guys' thoughts, Carl? I'll start with you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'd love to know exactly what he means by it's inadequate on many levels. Because he's going to go out there and he's going to give out a specific detail, right, that Phil Spencer didn't give out, which is this 3-year number, right?
Yeah.
Which gets, Phil Spencer said, whatever, we made a deal to keep it on the platform, and it was a deal that was, I don't remember the wording was like more than industry standard or something, right? Like,
yeah.
Which I'm assuming he knows, and that's not inaccurate, right? That, like, generally speaking, based on what they already have, which is a deal until at least 2024, and then another 3 years past that. I don't think the tech industry is making a lot of deals that go more than 5 years out, right?
Right.
So he's probably right about that. And then he comes out and he says 3 years is what they offered them. but then he says it's inadequate on many levels and doesn't give you any details as to what that is. Right. And then he also puts that idea out there that like he wants it to be the best quality version for our PlayStation gamers. And I'm like, but he told you that they're going to give you it with feature parity. So what are you trying to say that you're not going to get? Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't understand what you're trying to say, Jim Ryan. You need to give a little bit more information there. You know, if you don't want to see you got this publicly, then maybe don't say anything at all, because you're not helping your case by saying this stuff. Like, inadequate in the sense that like you're going to charge $70 and they're going to put it on Game Pass, you know, or is it inadequate that like they're not gonna let you charge a fee for crossplay anymore? Is that inadequate to you? Yeah, you know, I don't know what you're getting at, buddy. But you make yourself look bad, and it's sad, pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I mean, he's being generous. I mean, Phil Spencer. I mean, 3 years after the current contract expires, at least 3 years, we're gonna give it to you, and you're gonna get everything. I mean,
there's no reason to think that they wouldn't also sign
extend
another
that
deal after
right?
that.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
yeah. So, Burley, your thoughts?
He is. Just shut up, Jim Rollin. Just shut up. You're making yourself, every time you talk on this, you just make yourself look worse and worse. Mm-hmm. It's like, so what? They're gonna lose they're gonna lose probably all like the stuff they were getting, like the extra beta, early beta, extra map on PlayStation, and all that kind of stuff.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft will fully ever kill Call of Duty on PlayStation. I think they will keep it on there because it makes too much money, and you want to you paid all that money, you might as well just get the money from the PlayStation fans that won't go over. And Call of Duty always, as much as we may not be huge into it, it always sells giant numbers every year.
Yeah.
So might as well get the sales.
Well, they're you know, when it comes to PR, I mean, they're just making Sony look bad. Basically, we're making sure that these games are not going to be taken away from you. You are still going to get these games day one, even though we're going to put it on Game Pass day one. And you're going to sell it for $70, but we're going to still give it to you day one. Whereas there's some games on PlayStation that PlayStation will not allow Microsoft to have.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they're taking Microsoft is taking the high ground on this, you know, and it's exposing Sony for what they do. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. And it's just the smart business move to do a deal for a certain amount of years. Like, you think that Microsoft's going to come out here and say, oh no, we're going to give you a deal for an indefinite amount of time. Okay. Yeah. Here's just Call of Duty. Just sign this contract and we'll put Call of Duty on PlayStation forever. Okay. Forever. Like, no, this is their bargaining chip. Yeah. Okay. And like you said, they should just be happy that they're getting it at all. But like now this puts them, and this is why they're scared, is because it puts them in a position of control over Sony, because they do not want to lose Call of Duty just because of the amount of revenue it brings in on their console.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they can do things like I said earlier about the crossplay tax. Like, they can just get rid of that. They can say, hey, you know, we're going to put this game on your system, but we're going to make it crossplay, and we're not going to pay you extra for that. Sorry. Do you want the game or not? And their answer is going to have to be yes, we want the game. You know, whatever. Like, the weird thing is, like, it's almost implied that, like, they didn't sign this contract, this deal. Like, it sounds like Phil's, like, offered him this contract, and then Jim Ryan's sort of implying that they didn't accept it, although I don't know that that's true. I feel like you kind of had to, so I don't know. We'll see going forward, but I mean, you can't give up that bargaining ability 3 years from now, when that contract ends. Like, Microsoft's like, hey, did you buy the next Final Fantasy game for exclusivity? Oh, well, I guess that's going to cost you a little bit more of a Call of Duty now, you know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
whatever.
Let me just read the rest of Jim Ryan's comment. He said, quote, "I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be a private business discussion, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum," end quote. And then he's like, this talking about the Microsoft offer, quote, "goes well beyond typical gaming industry agreements," end quote. It's just, yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's a generous agreement, really. So, yeah.
Well,
Burley,
we'll see with this agreement what the details like as they come out. It's like,
yeah,
we, as Carl said, we don't fully know, and it's like, I really don't like Jim. With Jim Ryan, the way he's acting, it's like you're trying to gather sympathy and hoping and being like, every person that's just a PlayStation or just some people on the Microsoft side be like, yeah, they're being dirty to the other company. No, you've pulled that shit. You can't pull shit and then be like, I'm the victim. No.
yeah.
If you're gonna pull this exclusivity tactics, the other company buys out your competition buys the company.
Right.
You've both taken shots at each other. It's fair. If they're still offering and willing to play ball with you, even if and you're not getting the same good deal you used to get, tough shit. It's the way the world works.
Yeah. That's for sure. Okay, so it's time to get to our topic of the show. So our topic of the show this week is on Tokyo Game Show. Obviously, we're going to be giving our predictions, things that we would like to see at the Tokyo Game Show for 2022. And I'm going to play a ticker at the bottom of the screen here for all of you video viewers, and it's going to give you links to the sites for many of the presentations that are going on for Tokyo Game Show, for like Capcom, for example, Square Enix. So I will give you those links below so you can go and check those out. And I will show you also later on, as we're discussing the topic of the show, the streaming schedule for all of the companies that are going to be doing live streams. And before that, please let us know in the comments what you thought of Jim Ryan's comments about this deal with Call of Duty and with the Activision Blizzard deal with Microsoft. What did you think of Jim Ryan's comments? So let us know in the comments. All right, so let's talk Tokyo Game Show. So I'm going to go ahead and start the ticker here. So playing that, and so the links will be below for all of you video viewers, so you can check that out. So yeah, I mean, next week from September 15th through the 18th. But I just want to mention one thing that's going to be happening here on the 14th, the day before. Sega and Ryuga Gotoku Studio are going to have a joint presentation, and most likely we are going to see Yakuza 8. So stay tuned for that. And I'm thinking, this is my first prediction, and one of my hopes for Tokyo Game Show is that Ryuga Gotoku Studio will announce the next Judgment game, Burley.
Kaito's Revenge?
Maybe Kaito's Revenge. Who knows, man? We don't know, but it'll be something related to Judgment. I'm hoping for. I have no idea. I don't have any inside information on that, but I would love to see that happen. Of course, maybe we'll hear something about that on the 14th when they discuss Yakuza, because I'm sure they're probably going to be talking Yakuza 8, because Ryuga Gotoku Studio, they're either working on Yakuza or they're working on Judgment. So, I mean, it's one of them, either that or both. So I think we're going to see maybe some early gameplay footage of Yakuza 8. And obviously, Carl, you're going to love it because it's going to be turn-based again, obviously. The Yakuza games are now turn-based. Yes. Whereas, of course, the Judgment games, of course, are, styled after the fighting style of the earlier Yakuza games. But, yeah, I think we're going to get some kind of announcement maybe on the next Judgment game. So we might just get like a teaser or something like that. But that's what I'm thinking. So what do you guys think for Tokyo Game Show? Burley, I'll start with you, man. What do you think? What are you hoping to see?
Well, I'm gonna just say something on the Yakuza thing. I think we'll. I definitely agree. We're gonna get 8. 8 is gonna, because we've already had some leak images of 8, so I think they're just gonna go ahead and announce it. They may make a comment on the Judgment, but we did get that Kaito DLC this year for Lost Judgment.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna want to say too much on a Judgment 3 game right now.
Well, they might give a title or something though. They might do something like that. I think. Like some kind of teaser, or like just a screen with the title.
Very hopeful there, expat.
Oh yes, I am very hopeful.
He is really. He's like,
you might have to wait a little
longer, maybe. I don't know, but it's like, come on. I mean, we're getting the Assassin's Creed news today. I'm really hyped and excited for that, and we're going to talk about that next week. But I mean,
Mirage that leaked.
Yeah, Mirage
leaked, but then they announced it officially.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm excited for another Judgment game. I mean, as long as Kimura Takuya comes back as Yagami, I mean, I'm excited. Yeah. So and Kaito as well. You got to have Kaito in there. But yeah, I mean, Yakuza 8 and hopefully another Judgment title to be announced. That's what I'm thinking. But go ahead, Burley. You were saying, yeah.
For me,
yeah.
One I think we'll see. And I'm really hoping to see, because we got announced this like almost, I think it's like now up to 2 years ago, Dragon Quest 12. We haven't heard anything on that in a long time. So I think it's about time we see something, and what better place than TGS.
Okay. Carl, what are you hoping for at Tokyo Game Show?
It's a tough one, really.
And as Carl is thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and show all of you video viewers. This is the streaming schedule, the official streaming timetable for the Tokyo Game Show from the 15th through the 18th. So,
Persona 6 would be cool to see.
Yeah.
It's it's been a while, but they've done a lot in between, so they might not be ready to show that yet.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to get remasters for 3, 4, and 5. I think they're definitely going to announce those. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to. But there's other rumored things, right? Okay, so like the Final Fantasy 9 sort of remaster remake thing, right? That was part of that NVIDIA leak from a long time ago. We're going to finally see that here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, not really for me, but like, will we see more of that possibly?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is they consider this the big enough event to do that game there.
I think Kingdom Hearts would be more E3, because it has been a huge success in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some more. What that Dragon Quest? There's
Treasures?
3 HD. The 3 like 2D HD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen that in like 2 years. We saw it get announced, and then it went quiet.
So maybe we'll see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what Capcom would show. More Monster Hunter, right?
Monster Hunter and the Mega Man collection.
Yeah.
Oh, who is it? Was it one of? Actually, I forgot. There's some company was saying. It was a Konami, I think, right? They said that they're going to show they have a new game in a long running franchise or something like that.
Right. So yeah, it's probably Metal Gear remasters, probably more.
Yeah,
or Silent Hill, maybe Silent Hill. I don't know.
Well, I think the Silent Hill they did re-registered, or no, it was Suikoden. They re-registered the trademark for Suikoden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're not gonna show Silent Hill like here, right? Like that seems like they want a bigger announcement audience for that.
Never know.
It's gonna be like another Castlevania collection or something.
Yeah. I just want to mention something about the showroom floors, because we were talking about PlayStation last week not having a presence on the showroom floor at Tokyo Game Show. They're only going to have like some like indie game influences this year. But I was looking at the showroom floor, map layout, and Microsoft's not there either. So
That's weird.
it's dominated by like mobile, and of course, Square Enix and Capcom and them. But it's really interesting this year that
I thought they were
not
going to
gonna
be there. I guess
they are there in a streaming capacity. They're going to have their
but
streaming
not on
event,
the
but
show floor.
not on the show floor. They don't have a display. They don't have a display booth or anything.
Really?
So yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, actually, Jeff Keighley he threw the maps up on Twitter, and I was looking at him, and I didn't see Microsoft at all. So, but yeah, a ton of mobile. Obviously, that's
Well, yeah.
So
from Microsoft, I mean, look, I want to see Starfield in Japanese. I've been
the
saying
localization.
That
they
just
will probably
it.
show
like,
that. Yeah,
please do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure because I don't know if they're going to show more Starfield. I don't think they're going to just show the same trailer in Japanese, right? It's like I feel like if they're ready to show more, if they want to show more, I don't know, but they should give us something. Give us a little something.
What they probably will do is they'll show some dialogue between maybe a couple of characters and show the Japanese localization. So we'll probably see some of that. But,
Redfall, will they show Redfall?
Yeah.
Are they doing a Japanese, dubbing of that? I don't know, but they should. Those are their big games. Like they're not too far off.
Yeah.
You should. I feel like you should use this, like show your big games still, even though, this isn't that big of an event. Just makes this feel like a big deal and for a Japanese show. Like, to show them you care, by putting your big stuff there. I think we'll get. We might see more Yakuza 8 possibly at the Microsoft thing, just because they had that partnership previously.
Yeah.
And then Game Pass. What are we going to get for Game Pass? Right. I mean, so it says here in the Xbox Wire list for Game Pass this week, it specifically says, make sure you add a reminder, check back here for our update September 15th at the Tokyo Game Show.
There you go. Yeah.
So there is something.
Yep.
What it is, I don't know. I'm hoping for possibly Geofield Chronicles.
Maybe.
Day one would be really cool if they pull that off. Crisis Core. Like I'm looking at like the big sort of Japanese games that they could possibly get. Well, they're not big, but like the, things that are available that don't seem to have like Sony or Nintendo, sort of ties, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll probably get
older stuff, that hasn't come to the platform yet,
the Gundam collections. The Gundam.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising.
Strike Suit Gundam.
I'm sure we'll get about like 5 different Gundam games announced during TGS. But we do have level 5 there, so I wouldn't be surprised we get a Ni no Kuni 3.
Ni no Kuni.
Those were successful.
Yeah.
I don't know how well the second one was successful, but I know the first one was massively successful and the remaster did well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni 2 was pretty big on PS4 for sure. But we shall see. Then 505 game is going to be there as well. So, we shall see. But,
obviously more of that one RPG.
Oh, yeah, that One Piece Odyssey, I think it's called.
Yeah, Odyssey.
It's the one turn-based game I wish wasn't turn-based.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand that because I feel like it would be fun to play a sort of 3D action adventure with like, stretchy powers. That seems good.
Stretchy and all the other different characters that have magical powers.
And you would just play as Luffy. Why would you play as anyone else?
Do you think we'll get any? I wonder if we'll get any Scarlet Nexus DLC. So more Scarlet Nexus DLC.
I don't know if they were working on that.
Yeah. We'll see that. Yeah. So it's Tokyo Game Show, man. We're interested. Let us know in the comments what you think. You are hoping to see at Tokyo Game Show, and let us know. the games that you're going to be playing that might be coming out of Tokyo Game Show if those games come out. Let us know in the comments. So,
Kojima, we're gonna see Kojima at the Xbox thing. Come on,
maybe, yeah, it's a stream. I don't think he's going to show up at Tokyo Game Show, but
yeah, on the stream. No, he's saving it for TGS, right? He's got to go to Keely's show or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Tokyo Game Show is probably too small for him.
Even if he does show up, it's going to be like we had at the last thing. Him just showing up and giving you nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing against the man doing his own show, but it's like, out of all the things anyone really wants for Kojima, they're wanting all these trailers and stuff for all these games that we know have leaked. Yeah. It's like, you're not going to get that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be going this year. So I'm hoping to go next year. So I'm looking forward to next year's event. But excited to see what comes out of TGS. So I do know some people that are going, so I'm looking forward to talking to them about it. So yeah, should be good. So yeah, and then of course the Japan Game Awards will be interesting too, to see what game is the best in show for this year there as well. So
best in show is Elden Ring, because we bring that back to win awards.
I don't know. It's possible. Probably.
I'm hoping I'm wrong on this. Like, I'm doing this as a joke, please.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll be covering it, and all the news that comes out of Tokyo Game Show, we'll be bringing that to you as well. So. All right, so now it's time to, of course, talk about the new game releases for the week of September 12th through the 18th. So, and our picks of the week. So, I think Burley, you're up first this time. So, what do you have for us? What is your game pick of the week for new game releases?
Mine is Four Tales, coming Thursday, September 15th. Decide the fate of the world in this ingenious story-driven card game. Four Tales offers a unique take on adventure genre with a multitude of playstyles and story paths through which you can save the world or bring about its end. Coming to PC and Switch.
So with the cards in your hands, how will you choose to play? So,
I do like my card games, so I thought this looked unique, and with just it, and with the description saying you can either save the world or bring about its end. It's like, how could you not want to play a card game and bring the world to its end? I mean, save it.
Yeah, it's got nice art.
Yeah, definitely. That. Yeah. All right. Okay, so next up is Lost Beyond, my pick of the week. Lost Beyond is an adventure exploration game where your main quest becomes finding a way back to your dimension. So kind of like what was that series with Scott Bakula a long time ago? Quantum Leap, I think it was.
Quantum Leap, yeah.
Yeah.
Embark on a journey, find your way through a vast and mysterious environment, and try to hold it together while the universe tests your worthiness. So adventure, exploration, first person, and it's in single player. So and it comes out on PC on September 15th. So I don't know.
Yo, what a tease. The game opens up with a third person view, and then it's like, nope, first person.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Carl's just instantly, because of that, he's just written the game off.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the scenes look pretty beautiful here. So different dimensions and things. So
it looks like a Unreal Engine 5 demo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is in Unreal Engine 5. So, yeah, it's good stuff. So, for the US and the UK on September 15th. So, that's when it comes out. All right, Carl, you're up next. What do you got for us, man?
Sunday Gold, coming to PC September 13th. Sunday Gold is a point-and-click, turn-based adventure game set in grim dystopian future.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, there's a ragtag trio of criminals to hunt down and expose the dark secrets of an evil mega corporation and the malevolent billionaire behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this was a game that I pointed out at one of the smaller shows. I don't know if it was the Future Game Show or
I think it was Future Games. Yeah,
and it's coming, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
I will be keeping an eye on it.
Destroy your foes, uncover Steam. The truth. Yeah,
got it wish listed.
Mm-hmm. Cool. It kind of has that like a death loop, like a art style when it comes to the trailer here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting that it's a mix of like point and click adventure with turn-based, combat, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how much. Well, obviously, it has RPG elements to it, right? But like it's cool that the story will be driven by sort of point and click adventure.
Yeah,
that's definitely a unique mix there.
Cool. All right, so those are our picks of the week. Of course, you can go to releases.com to check those out. So for all of you video viewers, the link was below there, so you can go and check that out. So next up, we're going to talk about Game Pass. So we got some games coming here in the early part of September. So Carl, take it away. What do we got for Game Pass coming up?
We certainly do have some games, and
yes.
Some of them are already available.
Mm-hmm.
That would be starting with Disney's Dreamlight Valley.
Yay.
And again, I keep saying when I criticize the PS Plus extra stuff, right? I'm going to name a few here. This is day one on Game Pass, okay? New game, day one on Game Pass. Then you got Opus Magnum PC only. And you got Train Sim World 3 console and PC, day one on Game Pass. That's two right there. Got Ashes of Singularity Escalation PC, September 13th. DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace. It's on everything PC console, cloud, September 13th. Mm-hmm. Then You Suck at Parking, September 14th.
Cool.
Day one.
Hey, you don't know my parking skills. Oh, you're talking about the game.
The game.
Yeah.
Day one, another new game right there.
Yeah.
Despots Game, console PC, September 15th. Also day one Game Pass.
Nice.
Metal Hellsinger, PC, Xbox Series XS only.
Nice.
September 15th, day one Game Pass.
Yeah.
So there you go. We had a number of games that are that are fresh, coming out these days into the service.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna say, none of these games are actually for me, but that is significant to have those games coming out like that, new games. And I want to mention, not shown in the graphic, but Fallout 76: The Pit is September 13th.
Okay.
Which is included in Game Pass. So,
right.
I'm interested in that. Will I have time for it? Probably not. But the trailer I think looks cool. I'm always interested in seeing that game have something cool come to it.
Cool. All right. So I want to go over some comments about last week's episode. One of our patrons, Tuil, he was mentioning some comments regarding, of course, the PlayStation and games with gold. And I want to go ahead and read his comments here. He says, I forgot to comment about the PS and Xbox tiers the other day. I also would like to see gold go away. The monthly games are okay. With Xbox 360 no longer being added, maybe Xbox will try getting better games, but they are more focused on Game Pass. This year, I have beaten 12 games from that service, and my kids got to play MLB The Show 22 day one, so it still has been worth it for me. As for PlayStation Plus plans, I think Sony wanted to say they have a $100 per year or $15 per month plan. They don't have the money like Microsoft, so cloud streaming is put in the higher plan, $120 a year or $18 a month. I feel the extra $20 is worth it. I wanted to see how the streaming was, so I beat a PS3 game. It played better than I thought it would. I tried the service 5 years ago, and the streaming was bad. And I also beat 4 other games in the service, including 2 PS1 games. that are only included in the higher plan. I think those 2 games, Ape Escape and Wild Arms, you can buy, but not all of the PS1, PSP games are available for purchase. I would recommend Extra, the average person, but Premium is a nice option to have. And then he was mentioning, I made a comment about trying to see like new AAA first party AAA games from PlayStation be put on the Premium service for demos. Say like God of War Ragnarok last week, and of course Burley and Carl were saying, "Oh, you're never going to see that happen." So Tuil commented back. He says, "I'm not into demos. I agree with you that Sony should have them for all their first-party games. I would rather see new games added into the service like Game Pass. I understand Sony doesn't want to put first-party games into it, but I was disappointed that Roller Drome was a game trial instead of being added to the service. That month, Premium got no PS1, PSP games, and a 1-hour demo. It made me wonder if Sony was taking Premium serious. This month is a lot better, but the Sky games is funny because those were just removed from PlayStation Now in June. Nice to see first 1 PlayStation 1 and 2 PSP games. I've been very disappointed how they handle the PS2 games. They haven't added any new PS2 games to PlayStation Network, PSN. The PS2 that are included were ported to the PS4 years ago. Also, the emulator needs to be updated for the PS5. It is hit or miss if the game is playable on the PS5. So, those are Tuil's comments. What do you guys think of Burley? I'll start with you. And a shout out to our patron Tuil. So thank you so much for the comments.
Yeah, that first off, thank you Tuil for the comments. We really do appreciate all your support
thanks.
here. He's not wrong. Tuil is not wrong on this stuff. I haven't tried the PS2 games on the PS5. I can't say that, but the streaming, I've heard stories of it earlier, how bad it was, and I have tried the streaming. Like I did PS Now last year, and then this year I got the Premium, and the streaming is, at least for me, for my high speed connection, great. But they do need to add more. Like this is a content problem that they have. They need to keep adding stuff, but Sony doesn't have the money, and I think Sony is just pretty much just testing the waters on this and being like, how little can we get away with of just adding?
Carl?
Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely right about Premium being worth it in the comparison, like how much more it is, right? For someone who's really into games right now. But as time goes on, it's not going to look as good of a value if they aren't adding enough content to that extra service. Yeah. And I don't think it's about money. I think what they're probably going to run into what Microsoft ran into when they were doing their backwards compatibility program, where like you have to talk to the publishers for these other games, unless it's Sony first party games we're talking about. Outside of that, you had to talk to the publisher. If the publisher doesn't want to do it, they're just not going to do it. And it's not like you can throw money at them. And we don't think Sony would even do that anyway.
Yeah.
Microsoft with their games with gold is telling you that like we've exhausted all those options for 360 games. Yeah. So I would assume that for PS3, a lot of that is similar situations, right?
Yeah.
Just because they hadn't asked about PS3 doesn't mean that the same game they're going to be like, oh yeah, we'll put that on there, but we weren't going to do backwards compatibility. Like no, like I'm sure their reasons are because like we plan to remaster it or whatever, those type of things. They're going to run into the same licensing issues, like song licensing issues and things like that. So that service is, I think it is a question mark how that Premium is going to go. And like I said, it could be like Nintendo Online where you're just not getting things often enough into that additional service.
Well, Nintendo Online, you get, what was it, 2 drops a year? Maybe 3?
Yeah. As far as streaming goes, I mean, the streaming is better from what everybody says. I've seen a lot of people say that the streaming is better. But what are you using it for? PS3 games.
Yeah.
And how many, the same, like I was just saying, like, are they going to be adding a lot more PS3 games over time? Like, I don't think so. I think the majority of the first party stuff that you want is probably there already. and the third party stuff is probably going to be a challenge on dealing with publishers.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think of these tier services and all? Let us know in the comments. And of course, if you like this episode, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe and the notification bell for future episodes of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, and all of our content that we do on The Arena Productions. So we thank you for all of your support. So thank you so much for that. So next up is the games that we're going to be playing this next week. Carl, I know you're going to be busy, but for me, just Splatoon 3 and maybe another game or two, which I will, of course, talk about next week, but probably I'll be focusing a lot on Splatoon 3 this coming week. My new addiction. So, all right, Burley, how about you? What are you going to be playing this next week?
Be continuing on with Triangle Strategy and playing some more of the Cowabunga collection.
Cool.
Be doing some more Mario Kart 8 streams because those have been a blast.
Nice.
And also continuing on with God of War.
Okay. Cool.
Or Dad of Boy, whatever you want to call it.
So, Carl, if you do get a chance to hook up your Series X in like a hotel room on your trip to Buffalo, what are you going to play?
Yeah, Soul Hackers too. Like I'm gonna play. I'm definitely going to play. And by the time I come back, which I won't be on next week, I will have played something.
Okay. All right. So in 2 weeks when you come back, you can let us know what you played. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, I put 50 more hours into State of Decay too.
Oops.
Oh man, sorry. Go back to that again.
I fell back in.
All right. All right. Okay, so it's time for our indie recording artist spotlight. And of course, since we were talking about Tokyo Game Show this week, I have a Japanese artist for all of you to listen to this week. So this week's spotlight is on Raz, and she was on a few weeks ago as well. Raz, originally from Japan, is an accomplished J-pop anime vocal producer and melody maker. With projects released worldwide on Amazon Prime, she collaborates with emerging artists and specializes in producing catchy J-pop vocals. From her album titled Shibuya Lovers, and the song featuring Tamaki Noa and Kuma Bear is called Hoshifuru Yoruni, which in English means falling stars. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 103. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl, so we hope to catch you in the next one. So enjoy Tokyo Game Show, everybody, and we'll have news for you on that next week, on next week's show. So take care, everyone. Peace out.
涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる流れ星を見上げていたあの夜もよく敵対してんのバカみたい今はまた涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる何もかもを捨てたかった憂鬱なあの日々も騒ぎ始めた胸の中の答えを探すたびに出よう流れ星追い越してくスピードで絶えないメロディー夢が枯れ葉のように宙 私なんだったっけ見えなくてうなるざとのクラクションだって慣れてきたけれどあの日の約束はかき消せないのパノラマの空覗いてみる夢の続きを描いてくどんな時も忘れないで私の色を塗って君が残したエメラルドブルーこんなに綺麗だったんだ流れ星を見上げていたあの夜も大きな声上げてさ泣いてもいいの止まりかけてた一歩踏み出しまだまだ終われないとつぶやいて守らなくていいかばわなくていい僕との自分はいつもここだよ